But somebody asked James Gunn what Groot's last line was in Infinity War.
Oh, fantastic!
And do you know what it is?
No.
He says it. He says it to. Am I ever going to get out this fucking sentence?
Welcome to Preachin on Preacher, episode 83. This week we're going to be discussing season 3, episode 8, the Tom/Brady, and in part 2, what?
I just decided to pull a funny face.
You fucking prick! And in part 2, we'll be discussing the best on-screen duos.
Oh, yeah, but when I fuck up, they make me do it again.
I can do it again.
No, you asked to do it again. We always say no. So that's
Fuck it, we do it live.
Yeah, do it live.
We're live, buddy.
I'm Michael Harmond.
I'm Aidan Ralph.
Joe Lennon.
And I'm Ken.
Hi, Ken. Oh, we forgot about you last week.
Such enthusiasm right there.
I was here last week.
Were you?
Yeah.
I don't remember him being mentioned.
Jesus Christ. Exactly. Neither did I. Is there anything to be said for cracking open a window, Mick?
No, I want to die in my own sweat, surrounded by the sweat of my fellow man.
Well,
that is awful.
You have a cold, so you want to sweat it out, probably. Is there
And
seriously?
give it to the three of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Ken
you
can
mean the
open a
sickness?
window if he wants.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
thank
can't
God.
open a window.
I'm
No,
down
we'll
with the
open a
sickness.
window.
Thank Christ.
Oh, don't put it there. Oh, it's alright. Turn it off.
Yeah.
How are your weeks, gentlemen? And Aidan, I do not want this to turn into the Breath of the Wild podcast, so curtail your Breath of the Wild
I
talks
played
to
Breath of the
20
Wild.
minutes.
I will not. Yeah, 20 minutes or less, please. Go. My week was good. I finished the story of Mario Odyssey.
Did I finish that before last week's podcast, or
I can't remember. You finished it a couple of days before I did
finished
anyway.
that, Good game.
It is a good game, but isn't it amazing though how they still, I don't think, can touch Mario World or Super Mario 3.
I like the 3D
Mario.
Marios.
I know it is a different style, and it is enjoyable. One thing I would say about it is, well, two things. Number one, it's a little bit too easy, the basic storyline, I think. Do you not think?
Well, this has been a topic for quite a while, and a lot of games are so fucking easy these days.
Yeah.
Easier.
You can just fucking flourish them. They think kids are getting retarded or something.
You can't say that.
Well, I already did, and wait till you see what you're going to say later on in the podcast. I can hear it in my head right now.
Yeah, especially with the Jews and the knackers.
Jesus, let's...
Wow.
We just went full, like... oh, God.
Oh.
So, yes...
now
games are getting a lot easier recently.
Now maybe the whole thing is that, like, for
there's no challenge left.
Maybe their thinking is that, like, they want to make it, like, quite doable for everybody. But then if you want the challenge, it's going back on 100% in that bitch.
Yeah, or even
that's boring as fuck though.
There's further, like, there's other platforming challenges to get particular moons in that game that are more difficult than to get the baseline number of moons and go on to the next level is relatively easy for the most part. Like, I think I found, for me, the only challenging bit I had was the Moon King. Spoilers for Super Mario Odyssey. The Moon Kingdom, when you go in the door to go up, and it's like the lava level, and there's all the things that fall away from you.
Yeah,
that was probably the most challenging part.
Yeah,
but
even at that,
it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was super challenging. It was kind of just more awkward than challenging.
Exactly. Yeah. But
true.
The other thing as well, like, of all the kingdoms in that, I think there was literally about maybe 3 or 4 that were.
Ken's letting the moths in.
Oh yeah,
all the moths are in.
But the only there was only about 3 or 4 kingdoms that were super stood out as being amazing as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of a fucking lot.
Ken,
in
you
fairness,
gotta make a gif out of that. Please.
In I can't speak to Super Mario World really, but like in the original Mario games, all the 1-1 levels look the same.
Do you think so?
Yeah, well, they're all overworld, and all the -2s are underworld, and -3s are swimming levels.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know.
It all feels.
I'm comparing a completely modern video game to something made in 1985, so
not
really fair, but.
Yeah, but
I'm being pedantic.
Mario 3 and Mario World, they've all of the different sections and worlds and stuff. They all feel very, very different, I think. Even though, like, they do have that sort of formula, like you said. But
these ones are easier towards the last two, like Sunshine and Galaxy 2. There were some really challenging levels in that game.
Yeah.
Really fucking challenging.
Yeah.
Overall story, probably not. It was easy to fly through, but...
And I never finished them.
Mario's pretty much an easy game anyway. There's not too much to it.
I never finished
expert.
Like the one that was on the Wii, was it New Super Mario Brothers? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, New Super Mario Brothers.
I never finished it because I got to a point where it was so difficult. I was like, "Fuck this! I can't finish it." Like I might.
That's a challenge.
I might dust off the Wii and get Dano to finish it.
So Dano to do it for you.
That thing gets really hard, really quick.
It does, doesn't it?
Meat Boy is a challenge and a half, and if you even tried the
title of Joe sex tape,
the Dark World, like the
yes,
the Dark World. Holy shit!
Adele started playing Meat Boy.
Did she?
Yeah, she was getting stressed out at the start, but she's got really into it. And I think she's near the end of the first world anyway.
Like
Joe,
Super Meat Boy.
I remember when the two of us done that 24-hour gaming thing.
Oh yeah,
and I picked that as like my second last game. So
That's
it was 23 hours of gaming.
Not a great game to
and
play.
I'd never played it before.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah,
no, sorry, it was the 22nd to 23rd hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing that, and I was like, what the fuck?
I think you used my account as well, wasn't it?
I bought the game just specifically for that on the Xbox because I remember you telling me, like, oh yeah, you should play this, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll slot it in here. It should be okay.
It's actually a really great game. Like
it's
a
a phenomenal game, but
it's great.
After 22 hours of straight gaming,
no,
it's
not ideal.
Yeah. So then I started Breath of the Wild. Now Breath of the Wild, I think, unlike Mario, like they guide you as well, and they make it pretty obvious as to what to do. But it's pretty challenging. They don't like kind of spoon feed it to you like they do with Mario.
So far, I found the opening hours of Breath of the Wild to be very difficult, only because you've got no good weapons and kind of minimal health and stamina.
Yeah.
So anything can kind of kill you.
Yeah.
And you end up set on fire, and it's like, shit, I'm dead. And climbing those towers, you have to figure out, how do I get up here and then be able to take a rest so I can continue up on my tower climbing without running out of stamina.
It's good
funny
though.
For a Zelda game that they really did rebuild that from the ground up. Everything's very different.
Yeah.
And it really, I put a lot of time into it, I have to say.
They love that fucking circle meter now. Yeah. It's in Mario Odyssey as well.
Yeah, that's become like a staple of like
what do you mean the compass thing?
No, so the stamina meter from Zelda is also in Mario Odyssey.
Mario Kart
oh yeah.
Well.
And so and it's in Mario Kart as well. Is it Mario Kart as well?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I know it was in Mario Odyssey for something, and I'm struggling to remember what it is now. It might be his health.
Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart is fucking amazing as well. That's really, really fun and very addictive as well. To try and get the
just bought a Switch. So
he bought a Switch. That's what he did this week. I don't think I can think of much I did this week actually, other than like.
But I'm raging with you guys after this podcast because I could be playing Zelda at home. Like, what the fuck?
You could be playing Zelda now. No one would know the difference. I could hold your microphone if you want.
Do you mind?
Pokemon Go Community Day we did, I suppose.
I celebrated my 3-year anniversary. Wedding anniversary.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Go me.
Congratulations. Still my favourite wedding that I've been to, by the way.
You look so super excited there, Mick.
I was.
That was a great fucking wedding, wasn't
for
it?
Ryan, and I had a morning lion.
Holy shit.
One thing I remember at that wedding as well was lol. Or two things I remember. Like when we were out to Carver Castle, which is still also my favourite wedding venue I've ever been to. We got there and it's just like, Jesus, I'm not good enough for this place.
Fuck yeah. I am so underdressed.
Yeah, no,
I was in a full suit.
No, I was in a suit and everything, but I was just like, Adele.
So underdressed.
Adele, keep sketch while I sneak these cans of Aldi Galahad into the room just in case somebody sees me and throws me out of here.
Well, in fairness, my dad did have a trunk of beer.
I was going to mention that.
Like,
he came over to me when we were in the beer garden before, like outside, and he just goes, "You're nearly empty," and hand me his car keys, and I goes, "What the fuck do you want me to do with this?" I was like, "I'm not driving to get more beer." He goes, "Nah, just check the boot." Went out to the boot and there must have been about 200 cans in the boot. Like, so good.
But at another point, I went back to the room to I did my usual wedding thing where I bought 8 pints at the bar and then just filled up from cans in the room for the rest of the night. So I was going over for a can, and I said it to Austin like, "Oh, I'm going for a can. If you want to join me, I'll just over and back." I went over there, and then next thing, an hour and a half later, we decided to finally leave and go back to the room. We just chit chatting and stuff and listening to music. And we got back, and Adele and Austin's girlfriend at the time were both like, "Where the fuck were you guys?" Everybody come up to us saying, "Where's Austin? Where's Aiden?" We're like, "We don't know. They could be fucking each other for all we know. We have no idea where they are."
Totally were fucking.
I didn't notice to be
it was a lot of like.
Well, that's because you're a prick. And because it's your wedding, you probably had lots of other people to talk to. So
I did make sure they played Maniac.
Yeah, of course you did.
That was good crack. Yeah.
But yeah, great times.
I enjoyed it, I suppose.
What
was your week like?
I think probably the most exciting thing was I had a 3-day weekend and played Pokemon for 3 days.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Community Day was very fun because I think it was the best community day they've had so far.
It was hard doing it for 2 days though.
Yeah,
it was. I know,
especially because I was so hungover on Sunday. But yeah,
3 hours a day.
Yeah,
like I know, but doing that, walking solid 3 hours, going back and forth up Grafton Street.
It was the early mornings after doing a full week of work. Like
kind
of thing. It was like,
my day is off. Yeah, I'm still up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
by choice though.
Yeah,
100% by choice. I bet you all got the same feeling when you when you woke up. You went, "Will I?"
Yeah.
On the Sunday, I was like that. Me and Roger were like, "Oh, if we slept through our alarms,
it wouldn't be so bad." Like
yeah.
I set my alarms on Saturday night, and I think I set it to. It might have been Aiden or yourself on the Sunday. I fully expected to sleep through my alarms. And it'd just be like, oh, sorry, guys. Well, I got 22 shinies yesterday. I'm all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, fuck it. I'm fine. I don't need to be here. It's like, oh, where's Joe? Oh, his phone was on mute for some reason instead of vibrate. It was and everything, but I still woke up to my alarms. I was like, fuck it, I'll get it.
You know the darkness into light walk?
Yeah.
You know Jess slept through that the last time.
I did not know that.
Well, she was meant to go to it and slept through it.
That's right, yeah.
Lindsay pulled up outside, didn't see any lights around on the house, and went, oh crap, and turns out Jess slept through the darkness into light walk, woke up the next morning and gone, oh bollocks.
Well, technically she's still done it.
Amazing.
She still got the t-shirt.
She still got the darkness to light thing because she was sleeping and woke up
in
the morning.
She just didn't see the darkness part.
I do that every day.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I thought that was funny.
Right.
But and actually after that as well on Sunday, I actually went out to walk the other 8 kilometers so I could evolve Umbreon.
Someone on one of the groups was like, "Hey, Aiden, look to your left," or something.
Oh yeah, because I seen Sean on the street when I was just walking past the post office.
Stalker alert!
Fuck that.
But no, I just wanted Umbreon with the special move. So
I got. I didn't.
Which apparently is a terrible special move, but like whatever. Like I have another spare Umbreon that has alternative moves, so whatever. It's grand.
Fair enough.
Oh, Adele, like she's like, oh, I fucked up today. Like I walked the thing 5 kilometers, or what thing 10 kilometers, and then I evolved it before it was night. So now to do it again. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But
sounds fun.
Yeah, great times.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Whereas I'm just sat here playing Breath of the Wild.
And hopefully I'll overtake you.
Oh no, you're well past me by now, probably.
Am I?
How many shrines have you done?
All
5.
of them.
Okay, no, you're still behind me.
Okay. Not yet, but it's only
how many crocs you got?
How many what?
One.
I got 1 Karakas.
Oh, I got 1.
Go me.
Yeah. I just found 1 randomly when I was trying to find a fucking shrine. But yeah.
How many did you get, Joe?
900.
Oh, that's the thing that you can get 900 off.
Yep.
All right, okay. Right.
Sad sack.
I actually on my
hey, I'm the
sad
sack. Some of them are
you are.
Some of them are so hidden. All right.
How hidden were they?
Oh, very good. There's someone. I don't know who did it, but fucking hell, multiple people have done it online. They created Google Maps of the Zelda, world from Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
In
on
Google
my home
Maps.
screen on my computer here, I have that map.
Like, it's fucking insane. So they created a full.
Is that how you got them all?
Google Map. Not all of them. No, I used some of them to get the hidden shrines and stuff like that as well.
All right.
So I knew which direction I was going in.
Does the map show you the ones you have gotten?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, you got to turn on and off the
you can
croxes.
mark them off on the map.
You don't have to do that manually, though, do you?
Well, it's not going to link to your game. No,
sorry, I mean in-game. Does it show you in the in-game map?
It'll show you on your map in-game.
So how, like, say you collect 500 of them.
Oh, yeah, they appear as correct.
It'll show as
you
a
have
seed
to
on
find
your map.
them. Yeah, once you find them, they pop up
that's
on the
alright,
map.
because I was just like, if you had a list of all of them, if you went and got a guide or a map or whatever, but then had to figure out which 600 you already had, that would be undoable.
I think I got it. I did it every time I unveiled a new map area. I looked at how many was in that area.
Okay.
And then I went, right, I'll go find them.
Yeah, so I went and done the shrines first and then tried to do everything afterwards.
Yeah, tower, shrines, Koroks. And it was like, and then all the other stuff. But, and then, Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, 15 minutes later.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
we're going
and we go to the thing we're here for.
You said under 20 minutes. We did it.
Season 3, episode 8, the Tom Brady.
Yes.
Go. Tom/Brady. Go.
Yes.
So it kind of picked up straight after.
Yeah, it was a direct
it was direct.
Direct
Immediately
continuation of
grabs the gun, shoots Allfather in the chest.
That was the spoiler, by the way, that we were.
Yeah, that's
that
was in the teaser. That was in the teaser. You see him shoot and Allfather drop. Of course, we know now from watching the episode that it was all. Yeah, of course he's going to survive that. He's got like 4 feet of fat.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, compared to the comics, if he dies like that, that's a bit shit.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, we've only got to know him. Again, this is something we discussed, though. Didn't we say, I hope he doesn't stick around for too long?
I'd have been happy if he died.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been overly sad.
When I seen the scene, I was a bit like, oh, that was a bit short-handed. I was like, I thought you would have made a bit more of a battle over it. He fought some people in the lift, came down, shot him, game over.
God, when it opened on the underfloor, cheese monthly. Oh, fucking hell. I was fucking missing myself with that. I was like, I'll get the next one.
Yeah,
just I'm staring at this poor guy that wanted to get a lift. Did any of you think for a second that it was the end of the Allfather?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, only because it happened too fast and too easily. I still don't understand. I don't know what way my voice went there. I don't know what way my voice went there.
You don't go cabra
so long.
Don't go too cabra.
We'll talk about that later.
So when he when he shoots Allfather in the chest. And then him and Herr Starr are talking. And, like, he gives Herr Starr the gun. No. Yeah, he gives Herr Starr back the gun. And then Herr Starr tells him that his soul is up his ass. And then it seems like...
yeah.
So that's when the Allfather starts talking. And it kind of plays out as if that was their plan all along.
Really?
But that's what I thought anyway. Because there's no way, if he's not dead, he didn't overhear... Jesse and...
Yeah, it seems a bit hard to take, doesn't it?
So parts of this, I know you can kind of do it as the whole, hey, Shakespearean actors go off and do their, in their heads, soliloquy thoughts at the front of the stage while the other actors are around them. I'm not comparing Preacher to Shakespeare now, but...
Oh, I am.
But it was weird, because it seemed like, so he killed the Allfather, then Jesse and Herr Starr have like a conversation about, okay, that's done, how do I get my soul? Then Allfather wakes up, and Herr Starr puts the gun back to his head, says, I got him, and it's almost as if it seemed to me that it played off as that was their plan. Like it was Herr Starr and Allfather's plan to get Jesse to do something, but
I don't think so.
It seemed like a weird...
It doesn't match as Herr Starr's kind of... The things Herr Starr has done doesn't match out on that, I don't think.
Yeah, because when the Allfather started talking is when he pointed the gun back at his head.
Yeah, exactly.
So in Herr Starr's head, he would have been like, oh shit, he's actually still alive. Okay, I have him, Allfather. You know?
Yeah, it was weird.
There's no violence in the workplace.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny as well. Alright, we might as well talk about
if we stick
whole,
to the
and then go on
that
to
part
things.
of it, yeah.
What do we get there? He's strapped into a chair. Oh, again. God, why do they keep doing this? Because it makes me feel ill when I'm watching it. When he eats...
Yeah.
And does the vomiting
thing. It makes me feel ill watching it every single time.
But that's direct from the comic as well. Like, that's what happens. So,
but it's just hearing it, seeing it.
It's gas.
It's like, and the stick gets shoved down his throat so far.
And we find out that there are clone humperdoos.
Holy shit! There is multiple humperdoos.
Lots and lots of humperdoos.
Humperdoos, yeah. That should look.
Okay, well, yeah, we might as well talk about that scene then.
Where they just keep blowing up.
I laughed.
That was
out
loud,
very
good.
Fully.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Just Humperdoo just completely just like going around the room and stuff.
It just reminds me of Homer with the crisps and
stuff. Yeah. What did you make of
Protect the Queen? Which one's the Queen?
I'm the Queen.
I'm the Queen. No, you're not.
What did you
freedom,
make?
horrible hall of freedom. Sorry.
What did you make of the reasoning? So the explanation of the person needed to be the right amount of good and bad, and that they were just mixing DNAs to give Humperdoo the same mixture of good and bad.
That worked for me.
In one word?
Yeah.
Shit.
Did you think so?
Yeah, I thought it was really bad. The one thing I thought about Genesis was it really does choose the person. It's not just got to be half good, half bad, or a level, say, 60-40 or something like that. I kind of seen it as a...
It was a weird kind of cop-out.
Do you think so?
If that makes sense.
It makes Jesse less special than anything.
Kind of, because it's not like...
He is to me.
It's not like Genesis chose him. It's like Genesis went into him and he just happened to be the right mixture of good and evil or bad and good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, after that point, it's like, well, now they've got this serum made, so anybody can have Genesis if they just get this serum injected into them.
Pretty much, yeah.
So then it's kind of like, oh, okay. And the one kind of thing that maybe might redeem it, I don't know, at the end, Allfather says, bring in the Messiah. And I don't know if I got the impression that means bring in the real Humperdew, or whether...
That's what I think it is, yeah.
Or whether it is, oh crap, they've got someone else planned for this, and... It's gonna not be Humperdew, basically. It's going to be someone else from the Grail.
Oh, wow.
So, because
he wants to use it on himself, though.
That's the thing. So the fact that they executed the Humperdew and made Genesis go back into Jesse at the end of the episode, and then he says, "Perfect, bring in the Messiah." I'm like, who are they talking about now? Because is it the Humperdew, or like is it the real Humperdew? Which at this point, I guess we don't know which one is the real Humperdew, because which one have we seen so far?
I know.
Well, I think
or is it just somebody
that many with different serums that the one that they're going to bring out is this Tom/Brady serum one?
Yeah, but they shot the Tom/Brady one.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm really
so I'm wondering.
Confused by
I'm wondering, is it going to be
Messiah
someone else that they're going to inject this serum into, who's better at being a Messiah than Humperdew?
That has the same DNA.
Yeah, for a minute I thought it was, hey, maybe they're just going to inject the serum into the Allfather and give the Allfather that power.
Well, maybe they're going about the Humperdews are the failed clones of the real Messiah, maybe?
Possibly. So it's the one thing that kind of raises a question to me anyway, and it's only because of an off the cuff remark. I didn't like the reasoning behind how Genesis could stay in somebody.
Yeah, I didn't like
because
it
just became and it seems like it was set up that way just so they could have a Tom Brady joke. And that's real dumb.
Well, Herr Starr has probably one of the best lines in the whole episode. He goes, "How you got to do something? You got to stop this." A woman scientist, I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, that was deadly.
Again, Herr Starr, best thing about this whole scene, because he shows off, how afraid he is of Allfather again, and it's kind of
he's terrified. He
wants to help Jesse but can't. He gave Jesse a gun, but then put it in his pocket and won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And then he does get a few good one-liners. So there's this, and then when we come to talk about the Cassidy stuff, there's the stuff with Hoover. It's like it said kill him.
I think we can link that.
He's an idiot.
Yeah,
that's a typo.
Yeah,
that's a nice segue.
Wasn't a typo.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Kill him. He's an idiot.
Oh shit. Oh, it must just be autocorrect.
Send it again.
Great.
So if we can kind of segue into the Cassidy stuff this week. That was a turn that I was not expecting.
I was 100% shocked by that.
Yeah, because that didn't happen in the books, as you can imagine.
Well, I remember you saying that Hoover isn't a character. Were you saying Hoover's not a character from the books?
He is a character.
Okay. Then that completely changes
Hudson
what I was thinking. Yeah, it's Hudson. That's not. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But yeah, it's a weird kind of unexpected turn, because it's then just kind of like, okay, so now you've got this Grail agent who was still tracking Cassidy and dressed up as like a Jamaican taxi driver.
I love that. That was class.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously taken in, and then they offer him the same vampire choice that everyone else got, and he finally seems happy.
When his head popped up with the fangs, I literally burst out laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, that is classic.
I didn't think they'd do it. Honestly, all the way up until until that moment, I was like, no, they're not going to fucking go that far off the comic thing.
It's weird,
with
and it kind of.
like, no.
It seems to me that maybe I thought they were writing Hoover out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Because I thought, okay, he's going to go off and kill him the same way he killed the rest of the vampires that he created. But then they come in with Cassidy finding out that Eccarius is like a shithead, basically.
You're more than piece of shit, is how he described him. And the whole episode, he was suspicious. And everything Eccarius said, he kind of questioned, which was different from previous episodes. Like he was kind of more.
Yeah, and I think they hinted at that because he was trying to call the girl, and then he said, "Oh, it's a weird time in Spain." And he's like, "You mean Poland? Because you sent her to Gdansk."
That's it.
And he's like, Poland. I'm sure it's morning there in Poland too.
Yeah. So his story was kind of falling apart a little bit. Cassidy was starting to notice. And then he caught him in the act with Hoover. Mm-hmm. I love when he puts the music on. Hoover doesn't even take notice of what's happening and kind of goes, It was like Beethoven's whatever. Or
it was some
Bach or something.
Yeah.
There was neither of those, but I can't remember what it was.
It was an opera. I don't remember which opera. But the only thing, again, I'm not saying I don't like it. I thought the Cassidy stuff this episode was probably the strongest part. Because it's the most interesting story at this point. It was not touched on a huge amount this week. I think it was this week compared to the last 2 weeks. It didn't have as much of the episode as it did before. I'm just annoyed because I can see now that he found the bloody neck cushion.
Yeah.
And then Eccarius knocks him out, neck cushion beside him. You know next week he's going to say he's killing vampires. And they're going to use the fact that he's got the bloody neck cushion as... like proof that...
Maybe. I couldn't find the... Did you find the preview for next week? Because I couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually couldn't. And I think it's weird? Because...
Maybe it's because it's right at the end. They're just...
it's a 2-part finale.
Oh,
so this is,
okay.
So I think it... I forgot to look it up again, but I'm pretty sure you'll have to look up season 3 finale sneak or trailer to see what
but
it is.
It just... That part just annoyed me because... It's like, they're going down this way, and it's so obvious that this is going to happen. And it's one of those things I'm just like, ugh. I don't know why. I'm just...
Mick is so meh on this episode.
Again, I'm a huge fan of the Cassidy stuff this year. I don't... Just because and maybe I'll see next week's episode and I'll be proved completely wrong. And
hopefully,
I'll be like, I didn't need to worry about that. Mm-hmm. But it's signposting it so much that they're going to blame him for the death of the vampires and try to get all of them on him.
Yeah.
So
he might have Hoover on his side, though.
Yeah,
Hoover saw everything.
That's it, and then it makes me think. I'm really interested in, because you say Hoover's now such a departure from the novels. It's like, well, what are they going to do with him now? Because it's completely open. They don't have a character line they have to follow if this guy's now a vampire.
Yeah, and it's interesting because
it's completely new.
It is, and it's I wasn't.
And
it's one of those departures in the comic where I'm like, that's a huge departure, but I don't mind, and I'm interested to see where they go with it. That's fine. I'm fine with that. So
it kind of lends credence to what we were kind of speculating last week. What if like those Grail people end up joining the regular cast, but not as the Grail?
I did. I mentioned it with Herr Starr, didn't I?
Yeah. So like you could have Hoover as a vampire, Featherstone this week, and Tulip have a really good dynamic going.
I do like that dynamic.
Those two,
it will end
just
with
at
one dying.
Yeah, just those two at loggerheads, and then obviously you've got Herr Starr and Jesse, at the other place. So you've paired off one member of the Grail with one member of our regular trio in 3 different places.
I didn't even notice that actually. Yeah.
It's kind of neat because it's like, what's going to happen with all of those duos?
Yeah, kind of other side of the tracks kind of thing. Like, we're going to pair you up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're looking at it in a sense, it's like Jesse and Starr are getting along fine. Tulip and Featherstone hate each other. And Hoover and Cassidy are kind of on mixed terms.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on. So it's like each tree... each one of the three little group has a different story to them. Like, it's a different relationship. So... even with them being as duos, I think that would be a good question for us to ask sometime.
We might ask it.
We might ask it
20 minutes
tonight.
20 minutes from now. So I think the Cassidy stuff was probably the strongest stuff. That's unfair. I enjoyed the Osaka pieces.
I did like the Osaka. If we're going to go on to that,
so we can move
Tulip,
on to
Jody and Featherstone.
Mm-hmm. Featherstone.
Fuck's sake.
Do you know when I was saying it for a second ago, I was actually shitting myself that I was going to mispronounce them and be like, oh no, I'm Mike.
I'm Mick.
There's some really fun parts in that. The sexual harassment seminar was great.
Mm-hmm.
70% of all sexual harassment happens in the lobby. That was fucking great. It was like, wow.
And then at the end, the call back to that at the end, yeah.
That's the Angel of Death, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll get to that with Angelville, but that whole Osaka stealing the souls was fun. Like, even the trying to break into the vault, I thought it was great. You know, that moment was like, I wouldn't do that. And she warns her 3 times, right, and doesn't do it. And when she finally just goes to tap the thing, she just gets flown back about 30 feet. Yeah. The camera doesn't stay on her. It goes to the CCTV
camera. Brilliant.
Also, there you have Jody, who completely, I'm here to check your browser history.
I just love his real bad acting in the sexual harassment thing. It's like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Hello, madam, have you got the report? Wow, this is a good report. What did you do at the weekend?
I walked my dog. I had a shower.
Did you shower naked? Well, yes, I didn't want to get my clothes wet. How would you like to get your clothes wet right now?
And then he goes for the grab.
When they were doing that, I actually thought it would have been an office scene to try act normal in an office.
That's
so
what I
could
was
just
thinking
sneak off.
as well.
And the lights came on. I was like, oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. That's deadly.
That's so good. It even gets the director up. I was like, you didn't have to do that. I just wanted to see you grab his ass.
Yeah. Or even, and we were talking there about the relationship between, or the dynamic between Featherstone and Tulip. Even the snide little remarks, like, now in a real, the situation with a real attractive woman would be much more difficult.
Oh, the
it's
bitch.
just like, oh.
Yeah, that was good. Like, you had the whole, she even gives her up at the end. It's like, if you're looking for a tulip or one that looks brown hair straight from
the
Osaka,
dressed like a grey, up there. But that was after the whole Featherstone turns around to her and goes, look, I know we've had our differences, but it's been really good working with you. And she said, thanks. It's like, I was so messy.
Yeah, I was kidding.
She's just doing it to mess her head. That will
and that's what pushed
in a death.
That's what pushed Tulip over the edge there to give her up to the agent.
Yeah.
And then she realises she fucked up by grabbing the wrong case.
So she done another O'Hare and fucked up.
Well, kind of things are kind of against her on that thing. Grandma ordered Jody. From Jody's reaction in the car, you can see exactly what Grandma told Jody as he was leaving the Osaka.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
Look,
like,
the Angel of Death's coming. She's going to collect her at the airport. So that's going to lead to, obviously, the next episode in that, which...
So it just had that...
Angel of Death.
Yeah. And then I had that little bumper scene at the end where the Angel of Death is bringing Featherstone to the bus stop.
Yeah.
And the Saint of Killers is there with Hitler and... Arseface. And Hitler's like, have you got a cell phone? I need to text someone.
Yeah.
And he texts his buddy from the fucking restaurant. It's like, they got Hilter.
They got Hilter. I love that.
Did you see the little swastika tattoo on his wrist?
No.
Yeah, when he has his hand on the steering wheel, just before he goes on his phone, he has a little swastika tattoo on his wrist.
Really?
Oh,
so I'm imagining now a scene at the start of next week's episode where those 3 people he was having lunch with just show up in their car and try to take on like the Saint of Killers and the Angel of Death.
Like both, like 2 of the worst hell's badasses. You don't want to fuck with them at all. I love how
we'll have Eugene and Tulip probably meeting each other again for the first time since season 1.
They will, yeah.
At some point, I think it'll come together.
Well, Tulip has to meet up with Ting. I couldn't see a teaser for next week. I saw one photo. That's it.
So Tulip's going to meet up with who?
Arseface.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, if Tulip goes to rescue Featherstone,
the only image is Tulip at the bus stop.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Like, literally, I could not find anything else.
Yeah,
and it's the finale, like, basically. So I might have to have another look after this. We'll do it.
I checked up the dates to see if they were actually both released next week. They're not. They're
they're
separate.
Week
16th and 28th?
26th. 18th and 26th, probably.
19th and
26th.
That brings us to Angelville, doesn't it?
Yeah, the last thing I think we have to touch on is the scene between Madame and
go play with
the devil himself. Yeah, I did like that because I know you guys said he fucks animals in the comic, and it's just like, what are you doing these days? Fucking a duck or something?
Whatever you're doing these days. I love how that kind of TC's reaction. You can kind of see him through the door, and he's just like, just fear. And like that, he's like, Madam, he's here. And he just comes around, hello, as if it's like Uncle, like fucking Roger coming home.
It's such a weird dynamic change from the opening of the season, because we didn't have too much from Madame Angèle at the start. It was all kind of brooding and anger. But they showed some vulnerability in this episode because she has that weird nightmare
dream.
where all of the souls she's taken over the years are waiting for her, and she's gonna get her comeuppance.
Very cheesy. It was very cheesy.
It was a little cheesy,
filled with some cheddar.
And the whole thing where she, last week she professed her love for Jesse and don't leave me, I don't want you to go, all that stuff. And this week, just complete polar opposite, where she's like, he's insolent and blah, blah, and he has this power.
Sorry, whenever I hear the word insolent, I just get a flashback to Austin Powers, where where Dr. Evil says, he's like, he's talking to his son, and Scott Evil's just like, well, what are you talking about, Dad? We just had a breakthrough in group. He just goes, I had the group liquidated, you little shit. They were insolent. It's like, I hate you. I wish I was never artificially created in a lab.
Such a good film.
But yeah, the whoever's playing the devil is just playing that as the cheesy rock star type devil, and it's just
I love it though. It really works.
That little flick of the chair and then sits on it. I was just like,
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd say something like "Hello, Preppy." Completely "Hello, Preppy."
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see the devil obviously made a deal a long time ago, and he's dying to get so when Grandma dies, he gets all the souls. That's still a lot of souls. And he's like, so when are you coming down? For the looks of it,
not long left.
Yeah. She goes, maybe. So to make a new deal, obviously she's given Genesis for a lot longer life, maybe.
A lot of open questions on that one.
There's a lot of open questions.
Yeah, it's obviously she told him about Genesis.
Yep.
So it's there's some weird interdependency or interrelational stuff now, because we now know that Madame Angèle was talking to the devil. We know that the Allfather was talking to the devil.
Yep.
The Allfather plans a nuclear apocalypse. Fucking Herr Starr is planning a coup on the Grail. It's just there's so many kind of things interconnecting, and with 2 episodes left, I think they're going to have to come together, because obviously the devil now knows about Jesse, which brings the Genesis stuff along to the devil, which then links up the Saint of Killer stuff and the Featherstone being in hell, if that's where they end up going next week. And then obviously Madame Angèle is after turning on Jesse, but Jesse still has that blood pact with Madame Angèle. So it's all kind of congealing and combining at the end of the season, all these different branches. So I'm interested to see where next week goes.
They've got to bring them very, very close together.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Jody and Tulip are on a crash course with the Saint of Killers, Arseface and Hilter. With Featherstone there. Featherstone, do you like that?
Yeah.
No.
I think you're doing that on purpose.
I am.
Now.
No, you fucked up.
No, I am. I actually am doing it on purpose. But they're all on a crash course to get the souls for Grandma. You have the whole situation with Allfather and Herr Starr and Jesse. That's going to come together. I don't know which way they're going to link it, though, because eventually he's going to have to go back, which will either meet him with Grandma or the devil, or he's going to meet straight with the Saint of Killers again. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot of plates spinning at the minute.
I have an idea with the whole devil thing, wanting Tulip or her giving up.
That's leverage.
Yeah,
Tulip's leverage.
See, I don't know whether it's take Tulip so Jesse will come straight to you instead of you trying to chase him down, him having the power and then using it against you. Or is it because Tulip should be dead and should have went to hell, and God was like, you ain't going there, bitch.
I don't know. I think it's probably more the former.
Yeah.
He knows he doesn't know where Jesse is, but he knows where Tulip is.
Yeah.
So it's easier to get Tulip, which then gets you to Jesse. So I think that's probably more likely.
If Tulip goes to hell, though, will that Grandma not?
I don't know, because
no, I doubt.
Aren't they linked?
I don't know if they'll actually go there, but I just mean the bus.
I doubt if Tulip dies, Grandma dies.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, it's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense, actually. Yeah.
Do we want to? Do you have any other talking points, or do you want to go into your Herr Starr?
We'll do our Herr Starr.
Yeah, we can do our Herr Stars.
Herr Starr.
So, how many stars in a Herr Starr? I went the opposite route on the couch.
Okay.
So I'll start off with me. For the first time ever, I think because of the story-wise, there was a lot thrown in. It was kind of jumping back and forth, but there was a lot of information. As you said, Mick, the most probably enjoyable part would be the Cassidy storyline. The rest are just kind of on a little wandering path to come to this bigger thing. Overall, with all of that, I really wish I made half Herr Starrs. With the story building, I thought it was good story building, so I'm going to give it a solid 4.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed the story building.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where it actually leads with 2 episodes left. So, yeah. Joe?
I actually really liked this episode, and I think every section really showed kind of something different for where the story is going. The Osakan thing I thought was great. I thought everything with the Allfather and Jesse and Herr Starr, I thought that was great as well. The Humperdinck repeating thing was great. It reminded me of one of the best scenes in season 2 with the was it the Angels where they can't die?
Oh yeah,
it reminded me of something like that, and it was really fun.
It was like episode 4.
No,
they're fighting in the
with the hotel room.
Motel, yeah.
That was the second season, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the motel.
Season. Yeah. Anyway.
How is it the second season? One of the Angels is dead at the start of the second season. It's definitely season 1. Because
definitely season 1.
Definitely season 1. Because season 2, episode 2, one of the Angels is performing in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
So it is definitely season 1.
All right.
Oh, you love being right, don't you?
I fucking love it. There's nothing better.
Well,
Jesus
all right
Christ.
then. Yeah, Cassidy's was a very strong part. I might think the Grail part was a little stronger, but still very interesting where that's going. Seeing all the little pieces being put on the board for the finale is really fun. Seeing the way the devil and everything's come together, I will actually give this a solid 4 as well.
Okay.
I thought it was shy. 0 here. No, I'm just joking.
Jesus Christ.
No, I really enjoyed this one as well. But I wouldn't quite give it a 4. I think I'd give it a 3. I think it's a solid 3 out of 5 Herr Starrs. Nothing particular. There's nothing particularly wrong with it around that. It's just I just think this is a good episode. But I wasn't like bowled over with it as I was with a couple of the previous episodes. But again, like there's a lot of chess pieces like moving on the board or whatever, whatever analogy you want to use. And I think the last 2 episodes hopefully will come to the conclusion that that we were all hoping that they will, like a really satisfying conclusion for the final episode. And I'd imagine I'd say the final episode in particular will probably be a mind-blowing finale, because the final season, we're going to be talking about finales next week.
Are we?
Yeah, that's foreshadowing. But yeah, because the finale, like, I know that we've had our problems with seasons 1 and more particularly with season 2, but I remember like the finale for both of those seasons were fucking amazing. So I'm expecting nothing less from this season as well. So I'm really looking forward to next week. In particular, looking forward to the final week to see how they wrap this shit up. And I'm expecting to rate it very highly at that stage. But yeah, this one was good. This one was still really good though. I give it 3.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of there with you. I think it was a pretty unremarkable episode, if that makes sense.
For lack of a better term, maybe. It's
yeah,
like unremarkable is probably the wrong...
Unremarkable probably sounds too negative in connotation, but it's just...
A little bit.
It's another episode...
It was solid, like,
it's solid. Yeah. It's another episode where things happen, nothing crazy gets resolved, some extra points are brought in. I didn't... So, as like I said earlier on, I wasn't...
Do you know that Robert De Niro face where he sort of grimaces and nods? Like that.
I wasn't a massive...
That was this episode to me.
Wasn't a massive fan of the science behind how they can... transfer Genesis that I thought was a bit of a...
I like that, but yeah.
It was a woman after all.
And yeah, I mean, the foreshadowing for the Cassidy stuff I think annoys me on a personal level just because...
You took it personal?
Well, no, just because I don't mind a little bit of foreshadowing. I don't like when it's put out there so blatantly obvious. I might be eating my words next week when they don't do that. But
I didn't think it was that obvious. It never even occurred to me.
It didn't occur to me until you told me.
But anyway, for me, kind of a solid It's a 3-star Herr Starr.
Sorry, just to cut back and use there. It was season 1, episode 6.
Ooh,
fantastic.
Sundowner.
So you're wrong. If you said it was episode 4, you fucking
fuck
liar.
off! I got the season right.
That was Monster Swamp.
Oh,
Monster Swamp. Are we done for part 1 then? Is that Preacher for this week?
I think so.
Okay, so join us in part 2 where we'll be discussing the best on-screen duos of TV and film. And welcome back to part 2 of the podcast where we'll be discussing best on-screen duos of TV and film. A question of the week we almost forgot we asked.
No, we did forget.
Okay,
we remember
we all
forgot.
There was
3 hours ago?
There was no almost, I guess.
Yeah.
Do we want to just jump right into it?
Yeah, it's one of those weeks where, like, some weeks we get no feedback. And it's a real barrel scrape, just depending on what time of the week we recorded at, depending on what the question is and stuff.
No such issues with this one.
Jesus fucking Christ! People have not shut the fuck up about it for the last 3 hours. And
they're still commenting.
I'm sure they are.
There is.
Yeah. We found a question that people are actually interested in.
Yeah, for a change. So there's not even any point in going into our own thoughts, really, is there?
Oh God, no!
There's everyone answers.
There's like 70. Everyone that you could possibly think of is probably in this. There's
Keenan and Kel there.
Oh, I didn't see that. But Keenan and Kel is good.
Got there first.
I also didn't see Jules Winfield and Vincent Vega.
Who are they?
Who now?
From Pulp Fiction. Dear God. Fucking
That's
hell.
Also,
sorry, Bodie is get off the podcast. You're done. We're going back to the 2-man show, Aiden.
Ooh.
The dark
I don't know how I
days.
feel with this. Because that was a rough start, Mick. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, no, I've listened back.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Mostly my fault,
actually.
It's not that bad. Mick, it's not that bad, no. But Mick had this good habit of, like, there'd be silence and I'd have nothing. And Mick would have Mick's vocal tick for it was like, so yeah, I think that would be his his hook to get it back around.
And
so yes. But I'd have nothing. I'd be just silent. I was like, oh God.
And then you chime in with, that would be an ecumenical matter.
Yeah, pretty much. Something like that. Anyway, let's just start with these comments. And this.
Yeah, we can
So
hit up
it was
the
awful.
So
we'll just leave it at it was awful.
And just to apologise, I've already said this in the first part of the show, but apologies to those on the live feed because I am dying with a cold. So, be prepared for sneezes and snivels.
Ugh.
As much as I can, probably.
Sexiness. You didn't have a cold yesterday, so it's a bit strange that it just came on all of a sudden.
I half had a cold yesterday.
Just hit you in the face with like a shitty nappy.
I need to have a Lemsip.
Yeah. Did you ever try echinacea?
1, 2, Uniflu.
Did I ever try a what?
Echinacea. It's
What's
like
echinacea?
it's plant extract.
No,
it tastes like
don't
death,
go
but
for
it
that
actually
kind of thing.
No. Like as soon as your cold starts, just get it, and it's last. Anyway, listen.
It sounded like one of them things you'd get in a Kama Sutra book.
Echinacea. Sounds like a venereal disease.
I'm trying to trick him, bro.
Sounds like
cool.
it's falling off, man.
All right, Aiden, tell me, where can I buy this echinacea?
Any pharmacy.
In my pants.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'll show you at this show. Anyway, let's get to the comments, Joe.
Yeah. All right. So first was Breaking Bad, Walt and Jesse.
Yep. That's and it's one of those wacky fucking partnerships that shouldn't work. I don't think, and I don't think they hadn't intended it to work long term either because he was supposed to die at the end of the first season.
I remember hearing
and
that.
I think the writer's strike might have saved him partly because
I read that as well. Yeah, it's kind of like he would have been killed off, but then those writers' strikes, so they didn't get the chance to, and then
they kind of
turned out that everyone really liked them. So.
Yeah, so they kept them on. Yeah, so it was weird, and it's two polar opposites of characters you'd never really see.
Science, bitch.
Like a weird, basically a stoner / junkie sort of burnout, and a stuffy high school teacher. It's just it's weird that they never work so well, and it's fun. Like it's I love Breaking Bad. I could talk about it for
I wasn't
hours.
enamored with it, so
I know. Yeah, the first time I wanted to start a podcast, I actually wanted to do it on Breaking Bad, but nobody wanted to do it because
it's
I don't know why. Mick didn't want to do that.
Well, no, I wasn't around. I didn't know you then.
Well, no. I mean, this is like
that was years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, look, it all worked out in the end. Here we all are.
It was a cool kind of
watching a far superior show.
When you look at the dynamic between them, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it starts off with, maybe we can make a bit of cash in this and maybe I might be able to get cancer free. And then you're kind of looking at it by the seasons 2 and 3 where you're like, they either hate each other or something happens.
Yeah.
Like, it was a love-hate relationship by the end.
Isn't it amazing that, like, a lot of the time, like, as the deeper in they get, like, Jesse seems like the more sensible one, and he shouldn't be, because...
Oh, he definitely is. Walt loses it. Let's be honest, he loses his shit.
Yeah.
And wasn't the whole 7 seasons based over the space of a year?
That was one of 2 things that I just found like, oh, come on, that's not believable whatsoever.
Yeah, because like they done his bacon with, I think it was his 54th birthday at the start, and then at the last season it was his 55th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so that was 50 and 51 or what?
Oh,
yeah.
was it? It was 50 and 50?
It was
ridiculous.
Like, that was the only part of the show I really fucking hated. And it was like, oh, all this happened in a year. No.
Yeah.
There was that, the airplane thing I thought was a little hard to swallow.
Airplane thing?
Yeah.
But apart from those 2, how far did you watch Breaking Bad?
I started season 2.
Okay, it happens at the end of season 2.
Okay, no, I didn't watch that. Then what's the airplane thing?
You obviously don't care about spoilers. What happens is throughout season 2, every couple of episodes, there's a black and white opening where something horrible has obviously happened, and there's
beautifully
bodies.
shot though.
Very beautifully shot, absolutely. Yeah. Something horrible's out there happening.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. Did you get as far as Jane?
Nope.
Okay.
When I say I started season 2, I think I watched the first episode.
Okay, basically Jesse ends up moving into an apartment. He ends up banging his landlord, who's also like, the same age as him and stuff. By the way, Jessica Jones, that actress. I can't remember, what's her name again?
Jessica Jones.
There's nothing.
I can't think of her name.
Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
It's that girl. Anyway, so he starts banging her. She is a recovering heroin addict. She ends up falling back into it. He ends up falling into it as well. One thing leads to another.
Okay.
Walt comes over to try and convince, Jesse basically fucking demands his half of this big drug deal that they did off Walt, and says he wants nothing to do with him anymore, and they decide to take his like $500,000 whatever and like go and move away and start again and give up the junk and all that sort of stuff. But not after one last hit of heroin. So Walter comes over that night and trying to wake him up, and he's trying to talk some sense into him.
Okay.
And it's one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the whole thing, because he ends up, he's on Jesse's side of the bed, he's shaking him and stuff, and while he's doing that,
Christian Ritter,
her character, ends up on her back, and she starts vomiting, and she chokes in her own vomit. Walt just watches and lets her die. And then it turns out that her dad is like an air traffic controller.
Okay.
And he ends up going back to work earlier than he should.
Yeah.
He fucks up, and a 747 ends up crashing into Albuquerque and killing loads and loads of people.
So it's one of those butterfly effect things.
Exactly, yeah, and it's essentially all Walt's fault.
That's
but the black and
debatable.
The black and white scenes that you see at the start is carnage from
the
wreckage.
yeah.
And even
it was really well done, I have to say. Like,
even the episode titles that they do it on are 747 is one of them, Over is another one, Albuquerque is another one. So it's 747 over Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So yeah.
Interesting.
Poetry.
Yeah, but like,
do I need to watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah, you probably do.
Well, not season 2.
We probably shouldn't spend too much time on it, though.
It's my favorite show of all time.
Okay.
But those things
After Preacher, obviously.
No, it's better than Preacher. I'm loving Preacher, especially this season. But yeah, Breaking Bad is my favorite. But anyway,
we're gonna go on to another one then.
Yeah.
Go classic 80s, Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
Does that film
Tom
hold up?
Hanks and his dog.
I wonder, does that film hold
I'd
up?
imagine it does.
I fucking love that
I hope,
film.
Yeah, I
I
really
tried
enjoyed
to
it.
watch it 4 years ago. Both my dogs barked at the TV when Hooch came on.
Fuck's sake.
So I had to stop. I literally had to stop watching it. Didn't watch
That's
it then.
fantastic.
No, it's not. That's fucking annoying.
No, my dogs are irritating little shits.
They are irritating little shits.
I
They're
love
lovely,
them, but
they're
irritating shits.
They really are.
I might have to go back to that because that's great.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Hooch is crazy, Joe.
Hooch is crazy. That's actually one of my favorite Scrubs episodes. Is where JD orchestrates it. Where
JD and
Dr.
Turk.
Turk.
That's another.
JD and Turk, actually.
Yeah, that's a
JD
good
and Turk
duo
is
right there.
definitely one of the best duos on TV.
You'll probably reading now in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but to do with the Turner and Hooch, he orchestrates Dr. Turner and Dr. Hooch to become like a surgeon team like that, and they're like, it's great when he puts the two of them together and he goes, "You can say it, you're Turner and Hooch," and then Hooch just turns around and goes, "Everybody hates you guys." And it's just a fucking great episode.
Hooch is crazy.
Hooch is crazy. Next we have Arya Stark and
Not the
Needle?
mountain, his
Not
brother.
The mountain, his brother. The
Hound.
See, this is the hound. Thank you.
The
This is
hound.
the problem when people put up gifs. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember names and stuff now.
there's at least one gift that I don't.
That is a great comment, and it was for most of one season they were on. And if I remember quite correctly, not too long in the book. Mick, you remember the books better than I do.
In the book, what happens to them is he is bringing her. He figures out who she is, and
We did say from Game of Thrones, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And is bringing her to, I think, the twins, and they get there just as the red wedding is happening.
That's it. Yeah.
So then they
it's the
turn
same in the
around,
book. Or
and
the TV show.
yeah, then
Yeah,
they
the same
turn
thing
around,
happened.
and he ends up getting hurt, and she leaves him to die at the side of the road.
Same in the TV show. Yeah.
And that's where it's left off in the books.
Yeah.
Someone
same
is seen riding around in his
thing.
helmet.
You. Sorry.
Someone
It's
is
a big
seen.
helmet to
Someone
fill.
is seen
Yeah.
riding around in his helmet. Later on in one of the other books, but I think they say that it's not actually him; it's someone else.
Right.
Because I think it's kind of like, oh god, the hound still lives and he's going around. But there's a whole load of stuff that they've not touched on
So it's
in.
Hound gets around, he gets around, he's a hound.
As far as I know, there's a whole load of
Thrones.
stuff that they don't touch on in the TV show that's in the books. Like has the TV show gone near the Lady Stoneheart stuff?
They decided not to do the Lady Stoneheart storyline at all. They skipped
It was
it and went
hinted at.
for the They did the whole God of Light, the
Roller? No, that's
Fire.
the fire god.
Yeah, the fire one.
Roller.
What the? How do you say?
The bird,
Rafflecopter.
the Melisandre is the.
Yeah, they decided to do that storyline without her.
Oh, okay.
And instead it's a different guy's leading it, and the Hound joins up with them.
Oh, are you talking about the Brotherhood without banners? Sorry, they're the people that kind of live in the. Well, I won't say live in the forest, but they're like a.
Oh, they're all about the fire. Melisandre's with them as well.
Oh, and Ed Sheeran's the leader. Is that what you're talking about?
Can't believe they.
But yeah, no, like in the books, Catelyn Stark comes back from the dead as Lady Stoneheart.
Lady Stoneheart.
And where they left off in the last book, it's like she's hanging.
After a few points.
Is it Brienne? No, she's fucking dying. Brienne. She's like Brienne meets up with them, and they're trying her because she doesn't have Arya with her anymore.
Yeah.
It's made out that they're hanging her.
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
God, I hope that
weird.
doesn't happen in the fucking show.
Well, it can't because we're already way past that.
Yeah, way
in the
past
show.
it,
Yeah, because if they just throw that type of thing in at the last season, it's going to kill it.
Yeah, it'll be weird.
It's going to kill her if they throw it in the last
Hey.
season.
I thought Brienne in the show goes to
Brienne finds Arya.
Winterfell.
Yeah, because
She
I know there's
reunites-
some fight between Arya and Brienne in Winterfell. Not fight, but like they're practicing against each other.
Yeah, she kicks her out.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you were saying the Hound going around with someone else the helmet, I could just picture like Sleepy Hollow. Someone going around with his helmet under their arm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Um,
says Daria and Jane. I actually never watched Daria.
We watched a few episodes of it in July and when we were saying Miriam's. It's fucking it's really funny.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's very
It's
funny.
one of those shows I know exists, but I never got into.
Oh, Adele and Miriam are big into it.
Mhm.
And you can trust their taste in TV shows. Except for
Right.
Miriam's inexplicable love for RuPaul's Drag Race, which I find insufferable.
I've never
But
watched
don't
it.
fuck it up.
It's so annoying.
What's
It's
it?
awful. That's when like Rosie watches it as well.
It's
And
just, I don't
that's
get it.
all
It's just not funny. Like
I've heard people say
Interesting.
good things about that show.
no,
Don't
I
watch
just
it.
don't get it. Like it's shite. It's just fucking shite.
I don't really like it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
I
not
can't
for
defend
me.
something I've not watched.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know.
I
Maybe it's
suppose,
just not
yeah.
for me or something. I don't know. But anyway,
Next, Joey and Chandler from Friends from Karaoke.
Ew.
When you say Joey and Chandler, you mean Rachel and Ross, obviously.
Good God, no. That's a relationship. They're like a duo, like a friends.
Mhm.
Anyway,
They
sorry.
would be there for
Rachel
each
and
other.
Gunther.
I love you.
Whenever I see,
I love Gunther.
whenever I see a
I
man
relate
with
to Gunther a lot.
hair as bright as the sun, I will always think of you.
Yeah, you know what? Joey and Chandler are definitely up there until Monica came into the whole situation.
Jesus Christ,
Ruined
yeah.
it.
She fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as funny afterwards either. Chandler
That's when he
wasn't.
came off.
There
the
is
coke.
a few.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When he came off the drugs, he wasn't as funny. Like
when he gave up the smokes on the show was also another turning point I found where I was like, he's less funny now. I don't know why. It was just a thing.
Yeah,
He had his third nipple removed.
yeah. The source of all my powers. Next
is fantastic, and it is, of course,
Jay and Silent Bob. Do you mind?
Bob.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, are we going to talk about fucking Dogma again this week?
Well, no, we're going to talk about the film that this gives from Clerks 2. No, it's
they've appeared in a lot more, and they recently appeared in a TV show.
Did they?
Yeah.
2 months ago. I didn't know it.
Onscreen 3 as well.
A recent episode of the show. And
they
appeared as themselves.
In Game of Thrones.
Kind of. No. They appeared kind of as themselves in it. Because they'd done their whole back and forth. And Kevin Smith doesn't say one word. He's like he does this on. He's wearing a long coat as well. So it was like, Jay and Silent Bob are in that world. I was like, amazing.
You mean Joe and Silent Ben?
What?
You really need to get some medicine for your cold. You're going delusional.
What are you talking about?
Do you want to know the show, actually?
It wasn't funny. Move on.
Do you want to know the show?
I do remember seeing the scene, but I can't remember.
The only person that watches the show, I think, is Ken. So
it must be shit.
They're in it for like 40 seconds, and that's it. But it's amazing.
I do remember, and I think I texted you about it when I seen it.
Oh, no, you haven't seen it yet.
What's the show?
Have I not?
No.
For fuck's sake, what's the show?
The Flash.
Okay.
I could have guessed that because he's directed a few episodes.
He directed a Supergirl as well this year. He
Flash,
is huge fans of them.
He's directed several episodes of both, I think. He keeps pissing off up to Canada to direct episodes of it.
Well,
I think it was. I must have seen it online because I remember seeing it in a TV show based
everywhere.
World. Yeah, so
it's just them working as employees for something.
Which reminds me, there was a French reporter that said to Kevin Smith once, Jay and Silent Bob, apparently I think he didn't really have a lot of English. He said, Jay and Silent Bob like C-3PO and R2-D2 of your movies. Like,
great duo, by the way.
Oh my, yeah, exactly. Another great duo. He's like, oh my God, you're right, because you've one taller one that talks a fucking lot, another shorter one that just doesn't say fucking anything really, or you don't know what they're saying. You know
the most vulgar character in the world in movie. They had to beep out every word he said.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. The next one, I don't know if it was great. He tells us Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling. I'm not too sure if that's a duo.
I would say it's not a duo in the traditional sense of the word. But, if you read further into those books, it kind of becomes a weird interdependent relationship thing.
See, I didn't know that.
So in Silence of the Lambs, like Hannibal Lecter's barely in that. It's not about him. He's already captured at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about Buffalo Bill. Like, that's the series. Did I get... It is Buffalo Bill, isn't
or is he a great big fat person?
I love that actor. He's dead.
But it's about him. And even the one before that, which also had Hannibal Lecter in it, is a different serial killer and a different actual FBI agent.
Oh.
But if you go further on, so Hannibal is like... Half the story is Hannibal Lecter when he's living in Venice, and an Italian police detective thinks he figures out who he is, but by the time he does, that he gets murdered.
Oh, he gets eaten?
No, I think his guts end up all over some chapel somewhere.
That is?
Yeah.
So you get hung over and ends up getting sick in the church. So you're puke me guts up. Do you know? I might have said this already in this podcast, but Seth Green, when he was auditioning for Family Guy, he was doing his Buffalo Bill impression as sort of a joke.
Oh my God!
And that's how he got the part. So he's basically that's his Buffalo Bill impression. That's the voice of Chris in Family Guy.
Oh God,
that's really creepy.
Yeah. So what else we got there?
Solo and Chewie.
Shite. That's not true.
Come on. A classic.
Oh yeah, big fan.
Can you even do the Chewie noise?
No. Not really. No. That's
okay.
I don't want to wake up Jess.
I can't do it.
that wasn't bad.
Ken's off camera, and that was actually the best one. Like.
Yeah.
Adele also says Woody and Buzz.
Yeah, that's an amazing duo.
I do. I have to agree. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Adele got loads. Andy and Red in Shawshank. Yes.
Yeah.
That is such a good relationship.
Not seen it.
It's one of my favorite
that's on the
films.
list of. I think we've a short list of about 10 or 12 films. We
have the next 5 planned, as far as I've wrote down. I wrote down
a good few. I think there was more double figures, but anyway.
Aiden says, "Cheers, lads, keep them coming." Who's that?
That's not a duo. Yeah, fuck's sake.
Okay, Austin put in thing. That's from that TV show.
Yeah, this is the problem. Who the fuck is
Woody
that?
Harrelson and
True
Woody
Detective?
Harrelson and some
True
fucking
Detective.
guy.
Is it true?
It's the guys.
See, I haven't watched it.
Fantastic. You've probably seen a meme where Woody Harrelson goes like this, like straight to someone.
No.
Like that's that one there. They're a great combo.
I heard the True Detective ended up becoming True
so
Detective afterwards, though.
Yeah, season 2.
Is True Detective not takes a Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, that's Matthew McConaughey right there.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see that.
You just didn't recognise him without his shirt. With his shirt on.
With his shirt on, yeah. I was like, who's that?
He
That
always
can't be
thinks-
Matthew McConaughey. He has to have his shirt off.
Obviously, Austin Ellis as well, Tom Cruise and
Dustin Hoffman
in
Rain Man.
Yeah. Yeah, great combo, actually.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
42.
The classic.
Huh?
Yeah, 42.
I've never seen Rain Man.
Definitely gonna go gambling. Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
It's a fucking great movie and a great show.
I've never seen it.
It's really good.
Never seen that.
It's a great film.
Great
Ends
ones
with
here.
a bit of a cliffhanger.
Not really. They
Shh, spoilers.
That is fun. Come on, it's the biggest used kind of plot point. that
Hey,
Simpsons
spoilers.
did. We're a spoiler cast. So,
Yeah.
top of the show. Spoilers.
So Rocket and Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Lindsay says.
I keep calling Rocket Rocky because of stupid sexy Beatles.
Well, he's based the Rocky Raccoon.
Rocky
Yeah.
Raccoon.
Yeah. Once around the team around the South Dakota. I can't do it.
Rocket
not gonna start
Raccoon.
singing again,
I might have said this
With another
already
guy.
as well. Hit young Rocky in the eye.
Rocky
Rocky
didn't
didn't like that. Say, I'm going to get that boy.
So fucking good.
I might have already said this, but somebody asked, I'm sure we've mentioned already, somebody asked James Gunn what spoilers for fucking Infinity War. Somebody asked him what
It's been out for ages. It's fine.
somebody asked him what
If you haven't seen
Groot
Infinity
said.
War, don't go see Ant-Man.
Yeah, true. But somebody asked James Gunn what Groot's last line was in Infinity War.
Oh, fantastic.
And do you know what it is?
No.
I am
He
Groot.
says it. He says it to. Am I ever going to get out this fucking sentence? He says it to Rocket. He obviously says I am Groot, but like the line is that what he's actually saying is
Fuck bitches.
what he's actually saying is I fucked your mom. He's not saying that.
You ever going to get
That's
this
why
line
James
out?
Gunn was fired from Guardians.
Yeah, he slipped in one joke too many.
He put the
And
subtitles
that's the
in.
real reason, because the subtitles are included on the Blu-ray and DVD, and that's why he got fired.
Mhm.
No,
No.
what he actually said was, "Dad." I thought
What?
it was, yeah, like when he's disappearing, he's like, he says to Rocket,
Oh, well, he
"Dad."
does raise them, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Dad." That's the sad. I mean, the wind was taken out of the sails with like
Acorns
17
on
jokes.
you,
man,
buddy.
Yeah, but I just thought that was so sad. Watch that film again. He's saying, "Dad," as he's disappearing. That's so
On
sad.
that sad note, we go to Rugrats,
Tommy
Chucky and Tommy.
Yeah,
Yeah, from what I can remember, they were great, like buds.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In
They're
the
great
GIF
lads.
that or whatever is up on screen right now, they're just waking up from a nap, and it just has Tommy going, "What happened last night?" It looks like they slept together or something.
And
That's
they're
awful.
literally toddlers, so that's
They are toddlers.
that's
That is
very very hot.
Oh,
Whoa.
Get out of my house.
Get out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, fuck. I forgot you guys are kids now.
Take a shot.
Is.
Yeah, yeah.
Joe was a kid?
Joe had a kid last week. Didn't we say this?
Joe only found out he has a kid.
What?
6 and demanding child support.
Yeah.
If I just ignore it, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Austin also comes in with Harry Potter and Ron Weasley.
See,
Yeah.
they're more...
Yeah.
Is threesome the right word for...
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
that-
want to use threesome because
They're
I know
more of a
you'd go
threesome.
there.
You can't.
They're more of
have-
a trio,
you
aren't they?
can't-
Yeah.
They're a
Trio.
trio.
That's
for
the
me.
word, not
You can't-
threesome.
Fucking dirtbird, you.
Tune in next week where our question is best trios.
Oh, for God's sake.
Can we write that one down so we don't forget it this
No.
time?
We're
Yeah.
not doing that.
Well, actually, hold on. If you mentioned trios, Joey and Chandler was mentioned earlier on. Should there not be a trio with Ross?
No,
No.
they're
Ross
a
wasn't
duo.
original
Ross
of it.
was the dull, in love with Rachel shitbag for the first 4 seasons of Friends.
No, but he
What
was.
man?
only
Tell
when
me
he-
how you
Yeah,
really feel.
he's
three
also the
guys.
fucking best one in that show. So.
No,
After,
he's
eventually.
No,
Eventually.
yeah, no, just like,
No.
yeah, no.
When he got his anger issues, that's when he became the best character.
Yeah, he became.
I
really
think
good,
just
actually.
consistently over the course of the 10
Unagi.
seasons, right from the get-go, he's the best.
I actually used to
He's the
watching
funniest.
an episode the other day of where he goes to the tanning salon. I actually
I'm at 8.
that's such a repetitive scene. He goes back like 4 times. And
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, this is getting repetitive," but I laugh just as much every single time.
It's because of David
It's
Schwimmer,
like-
man.
and you see him, he's like 1 hippopotamus, 2 hippopotamus, like, and which way did you count? 1, 2. Damn it!
Hippopotamus, Lee? So, I like your colour. What are you? Puerto Rican. I'll just go for it too.
Nicola says Harry and Dolores Malloy. Who's that?
I don't get
You're
it.
gonna have to explain. I don't know
That's a deep cut from a
That's a-
show called Fair City.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're just going to skip over that then.
Well, I just thought it was...
William says Tom and Pascal. Is that also Fair City?
It's an Ashburn thing.
I don't know what the fuck he's on about. As per
They're
usual.
probably two lads that work in the veg shop.
Like Tom and Pat.
Who
the fuck is he on about?
Your parents' next door neighbours.
Dad, this is why I get angry at you. What the fuck are you on about?
He's not watching.
Probably
Peter
not.
McGrath says Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, well, Lloyd and
Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell, what a great duo.
Not so much the prequel or the sequel.
The
that first film was pretty good.
Prequels rubs. The prequels rubs.
Gordon Murray says from a different angle, Stiller and Wilson, those guys can make a shit movie decent.
Yeah.
So they're going for the actor duo rather than...
Which is fine. Which is fair enough.
That's a good angle to kind of put at it. But yeah, like people who have been in a lot of films together, you could...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can kind of see their chemistry building through the film.
Yeah.
So
like a modern one of that right now is probably Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. How many films have they been to? Like they're about 2 or 3 films deep in the last 4 years. Deep.
Oh yeah, so
but there's quite a few of those kind of, if you go purely actor duos, because you've got Seth Rogen and any of those lads that he does, like James Franco.
That's good. That was way better.
See, because your screen is so fucking dark because your battery's low, I can't tell, is that Batman and Robin or Rodney and Delboy? Rodney and Delboy, okay.
Yes, Batman and Robin. I like the original duo for me. They are fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, that was one that was meant. I put up the post and I got 2 comments. One of them was that.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
What was the second one, just so we know?
My dad, actually, Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, absolutely. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Speaking of Laurel and Hardy and modern news, did anyone see that still that came out of the Laurel and Hardy film?
No.
They're both dead, aren't they?
What now?
It's like, shut up, Aiden. It's like an autobiographical film. Do you know who's playing both?
No.
So John C. Reilly is playing...
I actually thought you were going to say John Cena.
That's good casting.
Is it Laurel? Laurel is the big...
chubby guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Hardy is Steve Coogan. Which is weird,
wow.
But when you see the picture, and we'll Google it, like you can look it up after or during the break.
Yeah,
they look identical, like spitting image.
I can see John C. Reilly as
I can see John C. Reilly.
But and I was surprised. I was like, Steve Coogan's in that film.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. No, he looks identical to.
Do you know what? I'm not a huge fan of John C. Reilly, but I will say this.
Oh wow! Actually, I'm seeing that image now. Holy
it's identical.
Shit. Can you show that to me?
No.
You can watch it on YouTube.
I'm not going to risk it.
What was I
we'll
look
at that during the break. That's
we will. Yeah, John C. Reilly, not a huge fan of in general, but he is fucking dead in Wreck-It Ralph, though. I'll say that. That's a great movie.
He's very good in Talladega Nights as well.
And Walk Hard. Dewey Cox story.
It looks like he put on. I don't know whether it's.
But Wreck-It Me.
A suit, but it's either a suit or he put on a lot of weight for this role.
Thank you, Joe.
I'll have to take a look.
Wayne and Garth.
Kerry O'Keefe, Wayne and Garth.
Yeah.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Party on!
Do those films hold up?
Yes, they do.
They actually are 1 and 2.
Good.
They both do, yeah.
I remember 2 not being fantastic.
No, they're both great. Mike Myers is quite hammy. Do you know what's weird when you go back to it? You realize it's like just how blatantly obvious. Dana Carvey is the best of the 2. Like he's
by far.
Yeah.
Garth is by far the funniest of the 2. Like by a country mile. Like like Mike Myers is obviously his thing, and Wayne is very funny as well. But Garth is Garth's where it's at.
Yeah, Dana Carvey
fucking hysterical
for me. Mike Myers, and also Dana Carvey is. Did you ever see them?
Did you say Dana Carvey?
No. Did I?
I think you might have.
Food in the brain, bro.
Awesome.
I wouldn't mind a Dana Carvey. I'm quite hungry.
Because I seen
that's a meal somewhere.
Mike Myers at some award show or something like that. That man is aging like an orange. Like seriously, it is.
Are you saying that one day he's just gonna go?
Just be like grey dust coming out of it where his skull used to be.
He looks identical to himself in his 30s when he's in his 70s, and then it's 71 and just withers.
That man aged like 40 years in 5. Like it is really bad.
I don't think that's necessarily true. See, the thing is, he hasn't made a film that anyone's actually watched in several years. So when you see him every so often, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
The only thing I can actually think of him in outside of Wayne's World is that Master of Disguise film.
Dana Carvey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's really bad.
That's terrible.
It's an awful film.
Turtle. It's terrible.
Oh, he's a shit actor outside fucking.
That's probably not
Wayne's
fair.
World.
I mean, I don't know if he wrote. Was that his? It was a vehicle for him, but I don't know if he wrote or directed anything in that. Anyway,
he's bound to have been another good
Kerry
stuff.
had another great one. Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Excellent.
By the way, films hold up.
Bill and Ted.
Yep.
I haven't watched them in a few minutes, but yeah.
So good. Gordon Murray says, Seabiscuit in red?
I have no idea what he means.
Well, Seabiscuit's a horse.
That's
I
a
know
horse.
that.
Thinking that, yeah.
Red must be Tobey Maguire's character in that film.
Was
I've never
it
seen
even
that
Tobey
film.
Maguire?
I don't know.
It was.
Or am I
Tobey
thinking of-
Maguire,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
I couldn't tell if I was thinking. There's a lot of a few films came out about horses at that point. I don't remember if he was in that one or War Horse.
I don't know.
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie?
Yeah.
How did you not know their names?
I never watched them as a kid.
You fuck.
Not one episode.
It's very good.
Bert and Ernie from
Yeah, good
Puppet?
lads. No, Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
But potato, it's okay.
They're about the same. They're both puppets.
Whoa.
Mm,
Don't insult the Muppets like that.
they're not quite the same, but yeah, they're the same
Similar.
company. So, moving on. Ted and Dougal.
Again, I count them as a trio. You can't have them without Jack.
Fair. I mean-
Actually,
no.
a quad.
They're more of a duo, I think. You can count them as duo, I think.
I don't know.
I can't
Do
see
you not
them
think so?
without the third.
I think more often than not, them two are doing something and Jack is doing something else in the
Yeah,
episode.
exactly.
But he's more than likely with them.
No, not
Yeah.
necessarily.
No,
like,
I could
if
count
you
them as a
think
duo.
if the Caves, the one that's come to mind, the Caves episode, there's
It's almost
them
like being blind.
those two are in the caves and Jack's off getting his
Definitely
glasses.
Spat that all over the laptop.
Jack's off. When? Oh, sorry. Right, sorry. I heard what I want to hear.
Well,
My God.
I walked into that one.
Oh, yeah, you did. You
Things
fucking
you
dirt.
walked into. Michelle Valentine said Ted and the character Mark Wahlberg plays. Thunder Buddies
John.
for life.
Ted and John and
Um,
Ted. Does that film hold up?
I don't know.
I never seen
don't
it.
know.
I seen the four. I
I
never
thought
watched the second
the
one.
second one was okay.
I-
Had a few
I didn't
laughs,
enjoy
but
it.
The first one?
Yeah.
I love the first one.
The more of what's the guy who writes Family Guy?
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, the more of his stuff I see, the quicker I end up being turned off of it.
Because it's
If
just
that
kind
makes
of the
sense,
same
'cause it's a-
voices recycled.
Exactly, yeah.
I really like him as a person, though.
Oh
Like,
no,
he seems like a
and
really
he
good
seems,
dude.
he seems really funny as well. And I was really big into Family Guy. And
Yeah.
American Dad came out, and I wasn't as big into that. And then he had a few films in the cinema, and they were all kind of just went by with nothing kind of happening.
Yeah.
It was more just
Was it A Million Ways to Die in the West?
yeah.
I
that was
really liked that.
good.
That was
I
good,
did-
wasn't it?
That was
It was
good.
deadly.
Yeah. It was like everybody dies at the fair. It's so good.
Did you see when he presented the Oscars? I was crying laughing through most
Yeah, I
of it.
heard he did really well with that.
He had a song that he did, because he's a really good singer, as we all probably know as well, called "We Saw Your Boobs," and it's just about nudity in Hollywood, and he mentioned Kate Winslet at one stage, like Titanic, and this, and this, and this, and this, and whatever you're shooting right now. We saw your boobs. It's fucking brilliant. We should put that on during the break.
I don't know these character names. Kerry,
oh,
you've got another one.
Yeah, Stand By Me, because you haven't seen it because you're a fuck.
Meh.
Will Wheaton.
Meh.
Is he in it? It's Will Wheaton.
It's Will Wheaton.
Wheaton.
It's Will Wheaton and River Phoenix's characters.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm done.
Good.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so it's Gordy and...
Oh, that's the end of that chapter.
So, sorry, folks, we're running the comments.
Don't
Does
worry,
anyone
we're
else have
all
a-
right.
We're going on to the
Are we ready?
backup.
We're all right. Yeah, we're damn right. We're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah. Stand By Me, though. We should add that to the short list. I can't...
Terrible film, I heard.
Yeah, I've heard
You
it's shite.
didn't.
That's why I've never watched it. Plus,
There's-
then Aiden
It's
kept
just a
telling me
bunch
it
of
was
lads
good.
walking down the tracks.
That's all I've ever seen.
It's
of
boring as fuck, alright.
I'll watch it when I'm fucking ready.
The only thing I know about it, don't they find like a body?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
why they had that whole Simpsons episode where Homer is
Yeah.
screaming.
Well, yeah, it's like walking from the tracks from Fisborough to Cabra. You're bound to find a bleeding body.
You know, 'cause you put
North
it there.
Side right there. That was holy crap. There's every once in a while. And I love this about Ken. Every once in a while, if you mention something from the North Side, his whole demeanor changes. Like he moves his head
He's saying.
differently, but
Yeah.
your voice goes down a couple of octaves as well, and changes all the little things he
You're
says.
saying.
It's near you teeth.
Well, I have to when I go back to the north side. When I go back to the north side, I have to let people understand me when I talk to them. I'm like, boys, what's the bleeding correct? You know what I mean? It's just, it's a different fucking world over there.
It's the vernacular over there, man. You gotta talk the talk.
He has to pass a test to be allowed across the border.
Yeah, like I get onto O'Connell Street, and it's like, where are you coming from? Just come from Clondalk, and you know what I mean? And you're all right, pal.
It's like you made it back. It's all right.
Did you get your passport stamped on the way? Yeah, I'm just going to pop up the ambassador there and get it done, yeah?
Guy just spits on it.
Saliva test. You're all right, pal. You're all right.
Jeez, you've got a lot of spit, you traveller, yeah.
Now, hold the fuck.
What?
Traveller.
Things were real dark.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah,
so this is Godfather, I take it?
Yeah, so it's Don Corleone.
Don Corleone and Don Corleone's young fella, I presume.
Whoever he's rubbing
Other
the face
Don
of.
Corleone.
Yeah.
Ian comes out. Marty McFly, Dr. Emmett Brown. Yes, come on.
Fair.
Yeah.
That pinnacle of both of their careers.
Yeah.
Which also reminds me of another one, Rick and Morty.
Who?
Because they're based on Back to the Future characters.
Derivative crap.
Never heard of them.
I know you're just saying this to annoy me because you've watched it and enjoyed it. You wouldn't have gotten as far as season 3 if you didn't like it.
That's true.
You did stop before one of the most iconic episodes.
Rick, Morty.
Then Irene said quite rightly, Harry and Sally from When Harry Met Sally.
Never seen it.
I know he orgasms.
I know that.
Fakes it.
It's probably the greatest romantic comedy.
There's a lot of hair in that picture. Meg Ryan, like her hair could swallow her.
I know, yeah.
Like,
and I would hard, fast, and brief.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's the greatest romantic comedy of all time. I think it's absolutely amazing.
That's deadly.
Fair. Bruce Willis and
Samuel L. Jackson from
Die Hard 3.
Die 3, yeah.
No one's mentioned.
So good.
Is that the last one there?
Mulder and Scully. From that particular feed, yeah. If there's more,
no one's mentioned.
There's only one more.
Murdoch and
Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
There is. It's on my one. I saw it earlier. Yeah, it's on my one.
Riggs and not Murdoch. Murtaugh.
Can we count John Wick and his gun?
John Wick and his dog.
Don't the gun. Don't mention the dog.
Oh.
Brings back all the tears.
Yeah, and said probably super obvious, but Sherlock and
Holmes.
Yeah, Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Sorry,
Watson.
Yeah, because she said
Sherlock and Holmes.
Yeah. So did she, though. So did she. Oh. She said Sherlock and Holmes, and I went, Sherlock and Holmes, and that's not right. Sherlock and Watson.
We're obviously talking about the Lucy Liu version of Watson.
Get fucked. That show, for that one reason alone, I didn't watch it. I don't care if it has like 7 seasons.
Elementary.
It's going for like 7
American TV show.
It's Sherlock.
It's Sherlock, but Lucy Liu plays Watson.
Sherlock.
Do you not know that? It's going for like 8 years or something.
Yeah.
Is it good or no?
Your man from Hackers is in it?
Your man from Knackers?
Hackers.
Oh, sorry. Was there a TV show called Knackers that I wasn't aware of? Where can I get it?
I'd fucking watch that.
Yeah.
Like every day of the week. That'd be amazing.
Like, fuck this random. Fire up the RT player quick.
I'm going to my ma's the weekend. I'll get you a bootleg. I'll pop in the pub.
Do you remember back in the day there was like loads of Knacker Fight videos knocking around?
Oh, yeah. I actually do remember that. They used to do them up in Windsor Market.
Yeah.
That's just mad.
Yeah.
Oh, when you're sitting in the pub and the bloke walks around with a rake load of DVDs.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just like, I have the bare knuckle ones if you're looking for them, pal. No.
Not especially, no.
I'm alright.
Do you have any Disney or?
There's only one bare knuckle shuffle I'm interested in. It's nothing to do with boxing.
They'd often have like lots of porn and stuff
belly
as well.
Boxing. It's belly boxing.
They'd often... We would through various means would get DVDs in their house. They were bootlegs, nicked, confiscated, and they'd often be like a stack of porn. But one of the things that mistakenly ended up, because they obviously thought it was porn, but it wasn't. Orgasmo, Trey Parker and Matt Stone's movie from like 1994 or whatever it was. So
this like person just come round to your gaff offering you DVDs?
No.
Yeah, they used to knock on the doors.
They used to be in the pubs as well.
Yeah, we had a video man. He called to the gaff with like the boot of his car, which is full of bootleg VHS tapes.
Yeah. Mick remembers all those early ones as well.
Betamax.
Like, used to knock on the door with like stone tablets and he'd carve you the latest photos.
See, the thing is, remember when you used to go to Extravision and they give you a late fee? With the bloke that has them in his car, your late fee is a broken finger.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So
sorry, mate, I accidentally taped over it. You what?
I did rewind it. That's a fingernail.
All right, we go.
What did I say with the fucking pliers?
Alan said Schofield and Willoughby. They are good though. That's the morning AM ones, isn't it?
The UTV, ITV.
No, Willoughby.
Willoughby would get it
Holly,
fast and
writing them out.
But he's fucking hilarious, actually.
Is he?
He is the star of one of my favourite early morning TV show clips where he introduces the Ulysses song.
Oh no, did he?
Yeah, the one Dano always plays.
Is that him though?
It's Philip Schofield.
Jesus.
He used to like host kids TV on, it must have been BBC.
Yeah.
With one of those little puppet things.
Oh god.
And there's a video that goes around where he's singing the Ulysses theme song, and it's fantastic. Another video we have to look at during the break.
Yeah.
Simon Harrison said Adam West and Burt Ward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Batman, basically Batman and Robin, right?
Don't they hate each other, or didn't they hate each other?
No, not at all.
Who am I thinking
they
of
were
then?
actually really nice.
No, they're really good
One
friends.
of the
You're
Robins
thinking of
and one of the
C-3PO. And
one of the Robins and one of the Batmans hated each other.
It
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Moving on.
Keep going. I think the second half of the show is running a little long.
Mandy said Benson and Stabler.
That's from Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
All right, Mick.
Good Joe.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, like of all, you could also go with Ice-T and Jewish guy. I can't remember his name.
Jewish guy.
And you called me racist earlier?
I don't know, but he's Jewish.
I think he's Jewish.
Fucking hell, we can get away with making fun of knackers because they're hilarious, but you can't get away with making fun of the Jews.
Yeah, they'll just be scabby and sue you for everything you have.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
No, so there's
Do you
four.
ever have
There's four.
Who got it worse?
There's 5 of them in the Special Victims Unit. There's Benson, Stabler, Ice-T, the other guy, and then the dad.
Oh, hold on. Who's the other guy? What's his ethnicity?
I actually don't know.
Is he white?
I assume Jewish, but because he mentions it in an episode
Brown?
that he's Jewish.
No.
And there's the dad from Alf, is like the captain.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the dad from Alf anyway.
I love that. He has no problem shifting like the whole racism thing towards Jewish, but the other guy, he won't even tell you his colour.
No, I'm talking about the same guy.
Oh!
Okay. I'm gonna get his name now because you're fucking ripping on me for it.
Yeah, maybe.
Sap.
And he's finding it very hard to stay on the unicycle, in fairness.
You could dig up.
Stupid.
So Robert Collins said Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, I think, is stupidly funny. They have become ridiculously funny.
Yeah,
the stuff between them are fantastic.
Even their social media presence in between movies and stuff like that is beautiful.
Just to come back in, his name is John Bulch.
Did you just
Actual
Google
name
the
is
other
Richard Besler.
Let me have a look at him. He does look Jewish.
John
actually.
Munch, who's portrayed.
I didn't want to say it, but he really does, doesn't he?
Is it the big?
I don't know what it is. Oh, God.
Joe, that's horrendous.
That's quite bad.
I need to leave. Okay, we're going to keep on going before we get way too much into that, before we get banned or some shit. Riggs and Murtaugh was here.
Yeah.
Austin, also the Mythbusters. Yes.
Yeah.
All day long, Adam Savage and...
They hate each other.
The other
No,
one.
they don't.
Would you stop saying that people hate each other?
They actually don't. The internet was being a dick to them after the end of the show.
It's because they're ginger.
Who the fuck is that?
Harvey Specter and Mike Ross from Suits. I never watched Suits, actually.
Me
Look.
either.
And Nicola came in again with Harry and Dolores Malloy. Yeah, you know what? No. Wow, that was a lot of things. So I'm going to jump to the live one now to see if we got any comments.
There's
I
a
did
few.
see one that I couldn't stop laughing at, and it wasn't nothing to do with the actual...
Was my dad being ludicrous again?
No.
Okay.
So Sue kind of shows, what's wrong with your knees, Aiden and Mick?
What's wrong with my knees?
Mick has very bald knees, don't you?
Getting the legs out for the
They're
ladies.
very
No,
shiny.
that's from
Who
Mick.
said that?
Mick is on his knees quite a lot,
Both
so
of you
where's all
have
the hair
very
off?
shiny knees.
I will say, this is quite not embarrassing story. I don't care about telling it because I told people in work. When I went in to get my tattoo, they were like, oh, look, you pre-shaved.
Oh.
You have such feminine legs, my
Oh my.
Oh, no, wait.
No, that's just you.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care. It doesn't irritate me.
The other ones we got in the live were pretty much nearly the same. Yeah,
More.
like Wayne and Garth, Marty McFly, Doc Brown, Aiden, are you the one who knocks?
Fucking right, yeah.
Darren and Manny, Han Solo and Chewbacca, Mike and Sully. Oh yeah, Monsters Inc.
Indeed.
Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, yeah.
And Asterix and Obelix.
Oh my God, Asterix and Obelix.
What's that from again?
Oh, it's an old school cartoon.
It's the Viking.
Oh, you know it if
Yeah.
you've seen it. Like, you know the...
Like one
the
tiny
pictures
little
of
skinny guy, and then the other one's like a huge... And they're both Vikings. Like, it's amazing.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Ren and Stimpy. Thought of that one.
Beavis and Butthead.
Cat Dog.
I was going to say, we
Cat
didn't
Dog
mention
is
Beavis.
technically one thing, though.
Still a duo.
Cat
Two
and
brains.
dog.
That was all our thing. That was a lot of feedback. I think we got like 45
That was a
minutes out
lot
of
of
this. Holy
feedback,
shit.
and thanks to everybody.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
For your contributions.
Yeah.
Okay. Question of the week for next week.
Let's write this down.
Have
as
we
soon as
got one?
break, for
And I
fuck's
will
sake.
write it down right now on my notes.
Yeah.
Go.
No, apparently not.
That's all, folks.
Were we? I think
Okay.
somebody may have mentioned like. Wait, what have you got? Come on, tell me.
Well, I was thinking something towards. We only have 2 episodes left of this season. What are we hoping for?
If it's a question about
going
Preacher,
forward? Yeah.
then we're
Probably
going to
not.
get no feedback.
Okay, so we got
That's the problem.
towards something.
Also, if it's answered
then if
next
it's a finale,
week,
I know exactly what to do.
well, if it's answered
Best and
next
worst finales.
week,
Oh, boner.
that'll be okay. That'll be pre the finale then, because next week is not the finale.
Yeah.
So
It's a good question, though.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, we can
so
pivot
we'll
off.
bank that for
For the last one.
the last one.
Okay.
We can
Yeah,
go
so
with
write that one down.
Yeah, we can go with that next week because it'll be discussing it the week before the finale's aired.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
we
I always count the
hyping up
last
the
2
finale.
episodes as one episode.
Okay, so
Because they always seem to be continued, you know what I mean?
I zoned out, so what's the question?
Best and worst finales.
In TV. Yeah.
Oh.
Best
He seems so disappointed.
good
Yeah.
guys turned bad and bad guys who went good in the show.
No, we've done that.
No,
done it.
we're not doing that again.
Yeah.
But we can just do the good guys gone bad and the bad guys gone good.
Oh my god.
You know, if you play
Joe.
that sentence in reverse, it'll
Joe,
be pretty similar.
Nothing.
Yes.
if people want to contact us, where can they contact us?
On the interwebs.
In more detail, please.
Okay. If
Just
anyone,
Google it, you lazy fucks.
there's a lot now. Actually, you know what? This is a list where we're going to have to make it. So let's start off. Twitter. You
Yeah.
can find us on Twitter at Preachin Pod. On Facebook, Preachin on Preacher. Is it currently at the movies? I don't know if we changed it. But,
Just search
it's
Preachin
there,
on
you
Preacher,
can
you'll find it. Doesn't matter.
You can check out our lovely website, preachinonpreacher.
.com.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheers.
Do we not
Sorry,
get
.com.
IE or .org? .com.
Yeah.
We've also, you can find us on Mixcloud, iTunes. What's the third one? Spotify, actually.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
can check us on the go on Spotify.
YouTube.
What else is there?
UserTube.
We do. We have lovely little YouTube. Thanks, Ken, for all the videos.
Well,
Yeah.
you're still waiting on last week's.
Yeah, for the first time ever. Like,
Yeah.
this is the first time you've been even a little bit late.
Yeah,
Unlike
so
me, you
Preach on
just
Preacher
forget to
on
upload
YouTube
this
as
shit
well.
for weeks on end.
It wasn't you. It was Joe that forgot to fucking send it to you.
Well, no, but like, do you remember a couple of weeks ago, though, there was 2 in a row. I was like, wait, Ken, did you send me this? Like, yeah. Like,
And then
a
there
month
was
ago.
once that
Guys,
Mick
can we
never
talk
sent me
about
the
this
audio.
off screen?
You know what I mean? So we're all fucking up. We're all okay.
Yeah.
Joe, anyway.
That's all of them there. So did I leave any out?
Did you mention preachinonpreacher@gmail.com?
No, you didn't.
Dick mail? No, that's
I
usually
guess
the
there's
last
probably
one.
no point
Like-
in mentioning that anymore because no one ever emails
No.
us.
No, the Aiden's inbox is like super full. You just can't get to them all in time.
Yeah. I'm
It's
not-
like it won't actually refresh
It's-
anymore.
yeah,
There's that many
it's
emails
two things.
there.
Or
Yeah.
Aiden's just keeping all the dick pics for
It's
himself.
no,
and
it's,
he
it's
won't
like that
share
scene.
them.
Do you know that scene in Bruce Almighty?
It's so sad he's sending himself dick pics.
Yeah. Do you know that?
Who's this Aiden Ralph guy?
Look at that dick. Sweet dick.
Oh,
bro.
sweet dick, bro. Do you know that that scene in Bruce Almighty where he's trying to answer all the prayers?
Uh-huh.
It's like that every week for me. It's just a mountain of.
That's why you were working
shit.
from home today.
Yeah, I just had to catch from the podcast.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. So
As always, Jen, it's a pleasure talking to you.
yeah, it's been real. It's been
Yeah.
arousing.
I'll
Real,
talk
real.
to you next week. Yeah, we're still on for next week.
Yeah, we are. Shit. Keep on preaching.